Most people walk right past them at the grocery store. They cost almost nothing. They fit in the palm of your hand. And they have been eaten every single morning for over 6,000 years by some of the healthiest, longest living people on Earth. 3 dates, that's it. But here's what nobody tells you. When you eat just 3 dates every morning on an empty stomach for 30 consecutive days, your body goes through a transformation that most doctors have never even discussed with you. And by day 7, you're going to notice the first change. By day 14, something happens to your energy that most people can't explain. And by day 30, I want you to come back and tell me this didn't change your life. Stay with me because I'm going to walk you through exactly what happens day by day, and more importantly, why it happens. The science behind this is genuinely extraordinary. Dates, Phoenix dactylifera, have been a medicinal food in the Arab world, North Africa, and South Asia for millennia. They're not just a snack, they are one of the most nutritionally dense whole foods ever studied. Inside just 3 Medjool dates, you get over 60% of your daily potassium needs natural occurring magnesium, which 70% of adults are deficient in right now. A rare combination of soluble and insoluble fiber found almost nowhere else in nature. Natural sugars, glucose, fructose, and sucrose that behave completely differently in your body than refined sugar. Antioxidants called flavonoids and carotenoids that reduce inflammation at the cellular level. And here's what makes this specific study stand out. A clinical trial published in the journal Nutritional Science tracked participants who ate dates daily for 4 weeks. The results across cholesterol, blood glucose, and gut bacteria were significant enough that the researchers said, and I quote, "Dates should be considered a functional food with clinically relevant health benefits." A functional food, not a supplement, not a drug. 3 dates every morning for 30 days. Before I walk you through the 30-day timeline, I want to ask you something. Do any of these sound familiar to you right now? You wake up tired, even after 7 or 8 hours of sleep. You get an energy crash somewhere between 2 and 4 p.m., almost like clockwork. You have bloating or digestive discomfort that you've just accepted as normal. Your mood feels flat, or you find yourself more anxious or irritable than you used to be. You crave sugar, especially in the afternoon. You feel like your memory or focus isn't what it used to be. If you nodded at even 2 of those, every single one of those symptoms has a common root cause, and 3 dates every morning directly addresses that root cause. Here's what happens. Days 1 to 7, your gut resets. The very first thing that changes is invisible, but you'll feel it. Dates contain a rare type of soluble fiber called beta-D-glucan. When this fiber hits your digestive tract, it begins feeding the beneficial bacteria in your gut, specifically Bifidobacterium and Lactobacillus, the same strains probiotics companies charge you $40 a month to supplement. Within the first 72 hours, most people notice their digestion becomes smoother. Bloating starts to ease. Bowel movements, if you'll allow me to be direct, become more regular and effortless. By day 5, there's something else happening. The fiber in dates starts slowing the absorption of sugar from every other food you eat that day. This is critical because it's beginning to stabilize your blood glucose. And by day 7, most people report the first unmistakable change. Their afternoon energy crash is gone or significantly reduced. That crash you've been blaming on lunch, on age, on stress, it was blood sugar instability. And your gut is beginning to fix it. Days 8 to 15. Your minerals kick in by the end of the first week. Your magnesium levels are beginning to recover. Here is why that matters more than almost anything I'll tell you today. Magnesium is involved in over 300 biochemical reactions in your body. 300. It controls how you make energy at the cellular level. It regulates your nervous system. It determines how deeply you sleep. It governs your muscle function and your heart rhythm. Most adults walking around right now are chronically, silently deficient. Not severely deficient, just low enough that everything feels harder than it should. By day 10, most people start sleeping more deeply, not longer necessarily, but they wake up and they feel rested. That hasn't happened in years for some of them. Day 12 to 14, the potassium effect begins. Dates are extraordinarily rich in potassium, more than bananas, gram for gram. Potassium is the mineral your cardiovascular system runs on. It regulates blood pressure by directly counteracting sodium. Two studies, one from Harvard, one from Johns Hopkins, both found that increasing dietary potassium alone reduced systolic blood pressure in participants with hypertension. By day 14, if you have even slightly elevated blood pressure, measure it. You may be surprised. Days 16 to 23, the inflammation shift. This is the window most people don't expect. Dates contain three classes of antioxidants that clinical researchers have become increasingly fascinated by: flavonoids, carotenoids, and phenolic acid. These compounds don't just neutralize free radicals, they actively reduce inflammatory markers in the blood. Specifically, they reduce something called C-reactive protein, or CRP. CRP is the primary biomarker of chronic systemic inflammation. Chronic inflammation is the underlying driver of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, joint pain, brain fog, skin disorders, and accelerated aging. By week 3 of eating dates daily, measurable reductions in CRP have been documented in peer-reviewed trials. You may notice this as joint stiffness that's slightly less severe in the morning, skin that looks clearer or more even, mental clarity that feels sharper than it has in months, mood that's more stable, more even, less reactive. This is inflammation coming down, and you did it with 3 dates and 30 days. Days 24 to 30. The full picture. By the final week, something profound has happened to your gut microbiome. A study from King Saud University specifically tracked gut microbiome diversity in participants after 4 weeks of daily date consumption. Their finding: a significant increase in beneficial microbial diversity, which scientists now describe as the #1 predictor of long-term health, immunity, and even mental well-being. Your gut and your brain communicate through what scientists call the gut-brain axis. 80% of your serotonin, your primary mood-stabilizing neurotransmitter, is produced in your gut. By day 30, many people report something they didn't expect. They feel calmer, more emotionally resilient, less overwhelmed by things that would have rattled them a month ago. That's not a coincidence. That's your gut making more serotonin. That's the gut-brain axis working as it was designed to. Now, why 3 dates specifically? And why in the morning? This isn't arbitrary. 3 Medjool dates deliver approximately 195 calories, enough to fuel your first metabolic window without spiking blood glucose dangerously. The fiber in 3 dates specifically achieves what nutritionists call first meal glycemic control, meaning everything you eat for the rest of the morning is absorbed more slowly, more steadily. Eating them on an empty stomach matters because your gut is most receptive to prebiotic fiber in the morning. Your digestive enzymes are freshly primed. The beneficial bacteria in your colon have been fasting overnight and are most actively ready to metabolize the beta-D-glucan fiber. It's not about magic. It's about timing the delivery of the right compounds to the right biological systems at the right moment. And 3 dates hits that window perfectly. 1 date, not enough fiber for a meaningful prebiotic effect. 5 or more, the natural sugar load becomes counterproductive for blood glucose management. 3. Every morning for 30 days. Here is the exact protocol. Write this down. The 30-day morning date. Protocol: every morning within 15 minutes of waking up before any coffee or food, 3 Medjool dates, the fresh, soft kind. Not the dried, sugar-coated supermarket variety. Medjool dates, specifically, they have the highest concentration of the beneficial compounds I described. Optional, but powerful. Eat them with 1 teaspoon of raw, unprocessed honey and a small pinch of cinnamon. Here's why. Honey contains prebiotics that work synergistically with the date fiber. Cinnamon, just a pinch, activates insulin sensitivity and enhances every glucose stabilizing effect the dates provide. Wait 20 minutes before drinking coffee or tea. Caffeine on an empty stomach spikes cortisol. Give the dates their window to work. That's it. 3 dates. Optional honey and cinnamon, 20-minute window. Every single morning for 30 days. The cost: under $15 for a full month's supply. I want you to think about this for a moment. For 6,000 years, before pharmaceutical companies existed, before supplement stores lined every street corner, people in some of the world's healthiest and longest living cultures ate dates every morning without fail. This wasn't superstition. This was lived medicine. And modern science is only now beginning to quantify exactly why it worked. You don't need a prescription, you don't need a program or a membership or a supplement stack. You need 3 dates, 20 minutes of patience, and 30 mornings. Start tomorrow. And in 30 days, I genuinely want you to come back to this video and leave a comment telling me what changed. Because when you do, someone else is going to read your comment and start their 30 days. And that's how these ancient secrets keep surviving. We pass them on. If this video gave you something valuable, share it with someone you love. They might need it more than you know. And if you want to go deeper, my next video covers what happens when you combine dates with this one other morning food. The combination is something researchers are calling a natural metabolic reset. You're not going to want to miss it.